Hello, and welcome back to Void Hunters SMP episode 2. A lot of wonderful feedback from the first episode, and I appreciate everybody for going on this adventure with me. I did forget to mention a couple things real quick in that last episode. One, I was having trouble with some of my audio in the vault runs. I was super quiet. I didn't realize it at the time, but my mic input level for everybody else was very low. So I do apologize. I was going to add a caption to that kind of explained what was happening. So just know I've learned from it. Hopefully in future group environments you can hear me just as well as everybody else, because I do think that contributed to some of the comms confusion we were having, as was the fact that I have never played cooperative gaming. So Minecraft in general is cooperative, like when you're on an SMP, but it's not strategic. So maybe that's the better expression. I've never played any kind of strategic co-op games. So that's one of the reasons why I know I can get better. There was a lot of opportunity, and you might have seen as we did more and more vaults, we started approaching and learning the strategies. So I hope to, in this episode, show some of my solo runs where I have implemented some of those strategies. So we'll get into that a little bit further, but what I want to show you guys is my to-do list. So to start with, I don't think we even really stopped by the house because I was so focused on that their big project that I forgot totally about this. This is my house. As I mentioned, we did all claim a house, but this is basically all I've done is I put a barrel and chest in the floor. I haven't even used the chest. And then I put a skystone chest here for all my armor, all my backup stuff. And then the front of my house got blown up by a creeper. And so it doesn't look quite the same as it did day one. The sign doesn't read quite the same as it did day one. And I have a hodgepodge collection of animals back here. I captured some squirrel friends. I captured some horse friends. But I didn't even make enough fences to go all the way around. So the very first thing that I want to start with is I want to customize my home. Because as you can see out here, this is Perfect's house. She has customized. This is Vault's house. He has also customized. It might be a little bit harder to tell, but he gave himself a basement and he decorated the inside with super cool shelves. I want stuff like this. I don't have anything like this. I was so focused the first week about doing the community build. I didn't give myself a nice little home. So I want to make sure that I embrace this, and Shro has customized. So what I'm thinking of is we're going to start today with that project, and then it'll give me a better place for planning other things I want to do. Cause right now, this is it. This is this is my planning zone. So once I get a customized home, I'm going to extend it a little bit back here where my squirrel friends are. We're going to do this as a kind of an entry to a slightly bigger home. I'm not going to go super big, but some of these other builds have kind of two parts. So there's an entry and then there's a bigger part. That's kind of the scale I'm thinking. And then once we've customized the home, we have a few other things I would like to do. I want to make a sheep/wool farm because the iron farm over in the distance yonder has been running already, and they've got so many stacks of iron that now I don't feel bad dipping into the community resources for shears and hopper minecarts and rails. So I want to get that up and going because it is a great build block to slowly build up over time. And then I'm going to keep poking away at the storage, all the details that I notice as we're filling it up, filling out the interior section, finishing the back of the exterior, and I forgot something on the outside. I was going to put some of those, I think they're called dormers, the windows that kind of poke out of the roof. So if I have an opportunity, I do want to add some of those, so we're going to do that. And then I also want to make a designated wood harvesting area. So right now we're just harvesting right behind the storage build, which is great. It works wonderfully. But I think I would like to, let me bring you guys over here. I did finish filling in the big cave system that's under here. So this is a little bit of, if a creeper blows up here, it's about 2 layers deep. So there's a good chance if a creeper were to blow up right about here, somebody might fall to their death. So hopefully I'm not predicting the future there, but I did try to give it a little bit of coverage, but also I went down and I lit all these caves up, and the same thing right here. You can tell all this flat area was like really uneven grounds and surfaces, and same thing right here. And this one I left open because this is the last thing I did right before I put out the last episode. I didn't show any of it on camera, but I went down into those caves and lit them up. So hopefully the underground areas, I covered them up. They're humongous caves. I couldn't fill them in, but I did go in and I lit up the caves. And I want to finish terraforming this section out because I think it would be cool if we had different levels of like platforms. Platforms is the word I'm going to use. Different levels of platforms for different trees. And then that way we can leave them always up and like ready to chop down instead of having this like empty area back here. So let me go into the map and kind of show, like, obviously this is where we are, the red X. And I want to kind of like designate some of these platform areas for different tree types, and then have kind of like, also, I just noticed that my quiver, that's awkward. My quiver hangs off my back. That's super cool. I didn't realize that was a thing. Okay. Ah! Quiver back, quiver back, quiver back, quiver back. I got my quiver back. Any hoozles. So I don't know exactly what order we're going to do those projects in, but those are the to-do list for today. And I think actually I do know the first thing I want to do is my house. So I'm going to go get ready for that and bring you back in with a little bit of an update. Step 1, clear out what's here so that I can make a new floor plan. Ready, go. Oh, I forgot there was so much in there. Oh dear. Bye-bye sign. Clean slate. Next up, make a slightly nicer habitat for the squirrels. Right about here. Relocation successful. Lights will be coming. I didn't bring any lighting material. But I hope you guys enjoy your slightly bigger, slightly more enriching area with the, you know, little bit of greenery in there. We're going to upgrade you guys over time. And next up, we're going to demo a little bit of extra area. Demo clear? Not sure. Because we're also going to move the horsies away from the side of the build so that they can have a slightly enhanced area. So for now, they're going to get just a temporary area, just so that they don't wander away and get lost and get left out in the open, where they can't... It's going to be mismatched because everything is mismatched in Zelda land today. Let's go to your new home. Let's go the easy way. And actually, wait, I'm gonna borrow your saddle because I don't have enough for all three. And next up, finish clearing up. Next step, junk up your inventory. Next step, realize you've made an error and fix. Much better. Make sure to always stand back and admire your work. And then rage that you don't have the right build materials to finish all the details. And just consider the exterior done. And then magic glass appear. Ah, magic. Next step. Inside. Definitely got to do the inside. Otherwise, what was the point? Ready, set, go. We have an interior. It got done. I started and completed a project in the same night. Sorry, I'm not familiar with my camera angles inside the build just yet. Please bear with any obstacles. So let's start from the outside. That would have been maybe a better idea. I need a fun name for my little house now. So before I had a sign that said it was Zelda's Z-Dub's Chicken something for reasons unknown that had to do with the creeper explosion in my front yard. So now that it is a fully furnished, decked out house, we can't really call it a chicken hut anymore because A, there's, no chickens walking around, but also B, it's nice. So I've still got my plans up here, but I think we can take this one off the to-do list. I feel very happy now that I have customized. I've gotten some of the modded furnitures in here. And I tried new things. These are countertops. I didn't do any kind with the drawers, mostly because I don't need to create a lot of storage in here. I did give myself these cabinets. I was going to use them as like upper cabinets like you see in regular kitchens, but I couldn't figure out how to switch the door handle to the other side. It's not like door placements where it like matters which like kind of angle you hit it at. And it didn't matter which way I crafted it. So if somebody wants to let me know in the comments how I can switch it around, we might still give ourselves some upper cabinets up here because it does look a little bland, but I've got the extra ones back here for now. they're tucked away under the stairs. So I do have lots and lots of storage under the stairs. Some storage above the stairs that I've now opened like 20 times. So I didn't really need to use the drawers or like the cabinets with drawers. And then I've got my vault helmet up here for now. You'll see I'm wearing all fully mending diamond gear just so it won't break on me. My helmet it has taken a little bit of damage. You'll see here. And hopefully the next thing we do in between build projects is I get to show you some of those Vault Adventures I went on solo. Is what I hope to bring you next. But to finish the tour of the interior of the house, I have done. I've left myself some more shelf space. I don't have a lot of knickknacks at the moment. This is all my valuable stuff. Oh, and that's a story. I used to have 2 of those. I'll try and do a little flashback here for you. How about? But this is all of my valuables. And so then I have a little bed area with a little bit of storage up here if I ever get, anything I need to tuck away. Oh, and I always do this. I don't know why. I use barrels as a beam as a rafter. So I actually have a little bit more than a little storage in here. it's it's actually pretty significant when we think about it. So probably more than I will need personally for a while. And hopefully we start to unlock backpacks soon. So real quick, let me wait. Hold on. Let me check the to-do list. And while I check the to-do list for what I want to do next, I will send you off to watch those clips from my solo vault adventures. And I didn't record my own, like my mic, my audio, because I want to try and do a voiceover kind of explaining my thought process and what I have learned from our first few co-op sessions, and like how I'm treating like finding new things. So let's cut into that. I have some sad news. One of my vault runs, I lost my only piece of vault armor. I wasn't watching the durability, so my vault helmet bit the dust. I was gonna keep it as a souvenir even if I couldn't repair it any longer. I never even got to repair it. I didn't learn how fast enough. So we're back to the diamond helmet. So sad. But in exchange, I did get a Vault X now. So that's pretty cool. I don't know what the prefix or the suffix is. Baneful or Healing Cloud. So I'm going to have to look those up, but that's super cool. So with the house now completed, I think it's time to set our eyes on a new project to pick from up here. I said I was going to kind of pick at this one, and I kind of like that was the exact right choice of words. I'm waiting on this one until a little bit later this week because one of the things I want to do in the interior of storage is that chandelier with the end rods that I mentioned last time. And the idea for the dragon fight is coming up. So there is talks, there is whispers, there is rumors of a community dragon fight. So I think after that I will have all the materials that I want to put into the build. So it's between these two, and I honestly think I want to do the sheep wool farm. I think that's where my head is at. That's the spot where it feels right to start there. So I will have to pick a spot first, and then I'm going to gather up some materials and just get cranking. Okay, I might have gotten a little bit ahead of myself, shall we say, with my sheep farm. I was gonna show a little bit of the progress in stages as I went and developed it, but I did this on stream and totally got into it. The only thing that I didn't complete on stream was the floor and getting the sheeps in, but I had the basic structure all laid out, and then I was like, you know what? This isn't a really great stopping point, so I'm just gonna keep going. So I stayed up until 1 and finished everything. But it still looks really ugly, so we'll definitely have to dress it up a little bit. But so far what we've got, and it's been running for a little while. Heck yeah! We've almost got, okay, what is that? At least 5 stacks of everything, I think. Yes! So I do have these all separated in individual storage slices at the moment, and I do have 2 extra sheep that I'm going to build a little pen for if in the back. If we need a like emergency like bulk amount of stuff, we can kind of dye a bunch of sheep and then manually harvest them. But I went with some blocks that I hadn't used before. This is sugar. I can't remember what it's called. Deep slate pillar. So not the cobble stuff, but in the stone cutter you can actually cut up the actual deep slate. And then Vault and I went on a run for the stripstone because he had brought back some of this version from one of the vaults he ran, and I had never seen it before. I didn't realize, and I should have. There are variations to dripstone too. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna play with blocks that I don't usually get. So with that, like the internals done, now I've got to make an external. And get it looking a little bit nicer because we are right next to the village, so I don't want it to look so janky. So I'm gonna get to work on this, and then we will come back to welcome back. I am staring into the pond that's in front of me so that I don't spoil anything too much behind me, but also so that I can show y'all my skin. I figured I had stalled long enough. The winter months are upon us. The festive season is here. I brought out Elf Zelda. So unfortunately though, there's going to be, I think, one more clip in my regular, or like in my summer skin from this here. So it's going to look a little out of sequence. I apologize. I tried to get like ahead of the game, and I ended up, just making things look funny. So bear with me. But I wanted to address the skin thing, and then bring you in for 2 more updates. So one of which is we have 2 elephants now. So we have Philip is the one I originally tamed. I don't know if I showed him on the episode yet, but he has been my best friend on Twitter. I made multiple posts. I was trying to figure out how to tame him, and thankfully Rogue figured out, whoops, hi, oh, geez, that was some fun camera angles. Rogue figured out that it takes the acacia blossom. So we have to, I think somebody's tried to breed them already. I don't know if it was successful because I have not seen a baby elephant anywhere. Unless it was hijacked and taken, like, absconded to someone else's base. And I don't know whose elephant Marcy is, but so far on the server, I'm the only one that can ride them. So if anybody has information about how multiple people can tame the elephants, that would be really handy. Because I kind of feel guilty that I'm the only one that can ride them. It's really cool to sit up there. But when I got off Philip over there and started flying, I actually coasted into the next update I wanted to give y'all. The storage for the wool farm is done! I have completed a little bit of automation, and it is now going into each their own chest so that it's going to be very simple for anybody to find what exact color they're looking for. And it's actually kind of funny, hilariously, purple never usually gets used when I make a wool farm, and it's the first one that's been used like quite a bunches, and the second one being a little bit of yellow's been used. So I think they're using those colors inside the trade hall. So it's kind of nice to see that my farm is already getting use, and I did keep a similar floor pattern from above where the sheep are to down here. And I moved all my work stuff down here and a junk chest for when I was digging stuff out. But you'll notice then that I still have no exterior. I really thought exterior was the next step, and then I got down there and I was like, let's make sure we know how big storage needs to be before I put a build around this, because I want to make sure that I account for this. Now, I'm pretty sure I can put, like, I can bring this part of the grassland up and over this, since these trapdoors help complete the arch. So, like, under here, it doesn't look super tight or condensed or short, so to say. So I think I have enough vertical space that I can just put dirt over the top of this, and not worry so much about the like how big it is. So if I look at the map again, so like this area here where my mouse is going around, pay no attention to the big squares, those are chunks. But this area here was really all the footprint I wanted to give it. So I think if I cover the storage area up with grass, it'll still keep the footprint of the build pretty small. And then I can use this part here where we have to go in, as more of like a patio, similar to the blacksmith house in the regular village. So that there's kind of like a patio here to go down, and then on this backside over here is where I'm going to put the pen, and I'm going to breed up and have, I think I'm going to turn them white, and just have like some basic, like a basic sheep pen in the back for if we need to make wool of a specific color. I'm not going to have very many of them, but I do want to have a few extra available, in case that is needed. So I will do one more cut, and after this night, we'll bring you back. It'll be a whole new build. Well, my build kind of got a little out of hand and did not go at all the way I anticipated it might. Mostly because I was caught up watching a bunch of streams of people running vaults, and I just started laying the foundation and the walls and was really distracted with, yeah, the size, the scale. So let me get up in the air and show kind of a good overview. So this is kind of the, like, I'm gonna land here. This is perfect. So the whole village area kind of was about the size of like the, the footprint I intended for that. More square. That one's more rectangle. I did not mean for one farm to be almost the same size as the castle. So I'm going to stop where I am here, and reconsider this. See if there is a better way that I can do this. I'm already running out of time for my weekly like play sessions. And it's big, it's too big. And I didn't leave like a nice grassy pen back here like I was intending. It looks like, I really like the way it looks, but at this point what I'm gonna have to do is like put a roof on it right here, or like technically a ceiling slash floor. And then potentially we could put another farm up in the second floor, so it might be okay. But I don't know what that would be right now. So as I'm like walking around, it's all very cringe. It's just one big box. I don't like it. It didn't like, I was really imagining something more like this one, where I have, you know, a build covering the farm and then like access to the storage through like a patio or something. And I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I was like, oh, I'll just start laying a foundation and I will come up with something on the improv. No. It's a pretty box, but it's a box. And I feel like it's too big. So with that said, ow, that really hurt. The dash flight is fun, but I've had some control problems with it. So with that said, I want to show you the next project, and here's the funny thing. The final project that I want to complete is out back behind the storage build, and it is taking shape a little bit actually, but not by me. Someone else started putting up a retaining wall, and I didn't even think of this originally, but I love it. So I'm going to use this to kind of give me guidance for how I want to split up these platforms that I was talking about. So I'm going to do just a touch of terraforming, and then we're going to utilize this idea kind of all around here. So I was going to use up there, I was going to use over there, and I was going to use here. So we have kind of 3 different like levels, kind of. We might lower this one a little bit so that it's truly 3 different levels. So there's like a medium section here, a low section here, and then a high section back there. I think is what I'm going to go with. I'm going to find out who started this, make sure it's okay if I adjust it, because they're using it as a vine farm, because like I at least have had mossy cobble as some of my vault crystal ingredients. So I'm glad this was here, but I'm gonna adjust it a little bit, I think. And so with that said, I better get to work. Did you all catch that funny thing? That was the skin transition that I was afraid of. I knew it was going to be glaringly obvious if you know, if you were paying attention to my skin and not just listening to the episode. So, hopefully that kind of worked. I don't know. We're gonna find out. This is new territory for editing Zelda. I've never recorded like a couple clips all together, and then tried to work on the projects throughout the week, and then tried to record a summary. This ain't it for me. So, also, as I'm like stalling here, I'm giving you guys a good look at the back of the storage. So I think the back of the storage is done. So the exterior of the storage I can consider complete. We're just waiting for a few more pieces on the inside, namely some more storage and research and stuff. But this is the back area. So it's changed a little bit. I've got some trees growing up just so we can replace all the wood we've been using, but it's not entirely complete. You'll notice these like weird copper pillars that totally don't fit in. So what I'm doing is I'm asking, this is the first time I've been over here and I just saw that we're tied. I'm asking for everybody to give me their opinion on if they want option 1, 2, or 3. And the differences here is that the top, that's all that's different. The walls are going to be at different heights, like I explained earlier, but I'm wondering what looks best to put on top. So I left it up for the people on the server, and I put 1 tally mark there. So that means the 3 people that have voted have tied themselves up. Yeah, you guys, how am I supposed to get anything done around here? But this gives kind of more of an idea once the trees are in place of like how I intended this area. So it won't always be all the same kind at each level, but this is what I threw up so that I could get some like replacement material down. Now, as the sun sets, I'm gonna say a goodbye from episode 2 because I'm dead out of time. I'm dead out of time. I didn't finish all 4 of my projects, but I did get so much done. We got our house. We got the exterior of storage. We got the sheep farm functional, the storage functional, and kind of an idea for a build around it to cover it. And we got the tree farm platforms. Oh my gosh. I'm streaming! Ah! I'm not meant to be streaming. I'm meant to be recording. I'm so dumb. This is the second time I've done this. This is me recording an outro for my video. Hi, chat. That's what I get for pushing buttons in a hurry. So, little Easter egg here at the end. Hi, stream chat. Bye, stream chat. We're gonna say goodbye. I'm like genuinely in shock. I don't know where I was left off. So, bye.